Good evening and welcome to the stream. It is Friday once again, and that means that it is time for a little bit of relaxation. Now, I don't know how long this stream will go on because I just started having a crazy coughing fit like the first day I was sick. As you can hear. Just like 5 minutes before the stream started, so I don't know how long I can go, but we're going to try. So let's get this off and let's get started. So bad, in fact, that that I'm sweating because of it, is what I was trying to say. But hi there. Whew. It's a little rough. So let's start by getting the sound on before I forget it. Boiling now. I hear you, Enderman, you can bugger off. So, to start off with, we have a few things to do. First of all, you might notice I have some trees there working. And there's a good reason for that. Other than that, I managed to finish purifying my plum bum bees, so they're now working. It's bad. So we have taken some of those drones out and are now using those to purify them. So yeah, that is going on. We should grab one of these to take with us. And you might notice here that this here powered down, there's no fuel here. And that's because we ran out of apples. As you can see, there's no apples left in this. Well, there's 4. So it won't really produce any more, which is a little bit of a problem. Also ran out of saplings. This one still has saplings, but that'll only plant them, it won't produce biomass from them. So we need something that can produce more apples per sapling. So, well, we're playing modded, so there is of course ways around that. Now we could go ahead and make just a water pump into it, and that will give us like half the biomass we would otherwise get. But I decided to instead go a different way and working on this. If you notice up here in the top, you can see this is silver lime. I have managed to get myself a silver lime tree. And you can see this here is silver lime that has been pollinated with apple oak, and this one has been pollinated with silver birch, which is these two. Silver birch and apple oak is just basically the analyzed version of oak and birch. And what I'm trying here is to get them to pollinate this tree, because then we can graft this tree and hopefully get ourselves a hill cherry sapling, which we can then use to pollinate with, I think we pollinate an apple oak with it. And and that'll give us an orchard apple tree. Now this sounds simple, but it's actually not, because it is like double DNA strains and stuff, or genome strains, like the bees are also, so it takes a little bit of work. Let's deliver this stuff, and then we'll handle the bees afterwards. So here we need to have a battery in place, Okay, we have prepared some seed oil down here, and up here we have prepared some carpenter stuff as well. So in here we need to have some logs, so we'll stick those in there. That'll give us 8 for now, which is not enough. So like that, and then we need to have like this. That will be enough for all we need here. You might be able to guess what we're making. We're making another alveary, so yeah. Probably going to need some more wood though, so let's grab a few more stacks. Because we also need to make the centered plating in order to make it, so yeah. But we have enough royal jelly and stuff to do it now, so it shouldn't be too big of a problem. So if we do... don't know how we did that, but okay. So if we make 3 stacks of those, that's exactly what we can have in here, and let's start it off with that. And as that uses the honey, we have extra honey drops in here ready to process, so that will help us maintain the honey, but I doubt we will have enough, but we'll be able to make a dent in it. So that'll be good. And then over here we are processing some essentia. I'm just going to keep those stocked, and as you can see I've made a little bit of a change here, and that is because this here was completely full, so I have expanded. So in here I have made a storage with space for all the different kinds of essentia shards. But I haven't yet actually made all the different essentia shards, but you can see in here what happens if you try to basically take some through that doesn't fit. And then if you want to give them a space, well, we go here and see cognitio. Ow. Oh, sorry about the coughing. Ow. That hurts so much. So if we look in here, aspects of magic. Let me just turn the music down a little bit, because I feel my voice is a little weak today because of all this coughing. So if we see here, cognitio comes after arbor. So it is the 7th, which is 2 spaced between arbor, also comes before corpus. I can't remember if we have corpus shards, but I don't think so. So arbor is here, then we go in here and say 2 between that. And now we just wait. And if we take this here, the foci of portable holes, we can do whoop. Now we can go in here and see them work. So here they come. So if we go outside again, there we go. Then we can just say boop, and now that is locked. So now we just let it pull all the cognitio, and once that is done we can start pulling the machina. We do them one at a time because otherwise the cognitio would be spread between the 2, but we don't have to manually go and move the things, which is very nice. That's still working. Okay, let's have a look here. U, we need to take a U out. And U, this is very good. We are finally getting our... we should actually just start using the drones we don't use here in here. But basically what has happened is we have finally managed to get an appetite strain which has 3 fertility. So now we just need to stabilize the rest of the genomes. This one is suitable. We're going to take these out and give this drone to you, and then you're going to pair you two together and stick the other drone up here. It's been really hard to get these to develop. I keep on getting one fertility ones, which is quite annoying. Over here we're trying to purify some plum bum queens. So they're just running and producing bees. And once we have the plum bum queens here, we can start working on auric queens, which is the ones that produces gold, which is the one we're looking for, because we don't have a sustainable source of gold at the moment. So that'll help us out. Alright, so other than that, what have we been working on? Well, we have been running the biomass test, of course, which has been not quite successful, but we have also been working on this thing over here, the alveary, and I did some tests and I figured out how to make it able to work with tropical drones. So we have the alveary hydro regulator and the heaters. So with two heaters, which does need power, and these. Now it is a question, could we for instance make a solar generator and plonk it down and let that drive it? I'm not sure it would produce enough power, but maybe. But we're just going to use the batteries for now. A battery charge should be enough to run it for 3 days, I'm estimating. But we have another issue, and that is automation, which we need to have a look at. So in order for automation to work, we need to have some different things. We need to have the pipes, item ducts, we need to have a servo. And then we need to have some place to put drones and stuff, so we need one for the drones, one for the produce, and that's pretty much it. So let's see what we can do with those. Now I've never tried to automate an alveary before, so I hope it works, but yeah, we'll see. So let's see here. I think we'll try to do that. And then we will take these two, put them here. Then we will take a drone and a silky comb. Silky comb we'll put down there, the drone's there. And then we will see what happens. So if we put the servo here and then turn it on, we should see things start going out if it works. So let's see here, turn it to 1, go to low. Oh yeah, it's pulling. Now what will it do with the bees though? That is the question. There goes a bee. Went into it. The other one goes into it in the right spot and it runs. Now this will not run at the moment because it's too cold. It's moist enough because this one will run permanently, but this will require power in order to work. So in order to get the power we need to have a battery, so we're going to get that next. Let's see here, this here, is that the one? No. Good, so we will just grab that. Ah, bugger. Oh god. I might be dying. So all we need to do is plonk it down here, and once we do that, these nasty little buggers are gonna do stuff to us. So let's just see what happens, and then you will see. So this will start working. The temperature will rise, and as it passes about 90, it turns into a tropical climate, which means this can now work. As you can see, there's no problem out there, but there's one problem with these bees, and that is that they are quite the nasty buggers. You can see there's a particle effect over them, which you can see here, and that means if we are in the neighborhood of these bees, they will cause effects on us, and for some reason we haven't been hit by it yet, but it'll come. So what we're going to do here is we are going to basically let them run and produce a bunch of tropical drones, which we're going to be using for others. Once we have enough tropical drones, we can use this again. We probably have to mess around with the configuration, maybe make so that we have 2 different outputs. But basically what we need to do is we need to make a similar one to the one over there where we purify. Oh, look at that! It's a butterfly! That's because of the pollination. When the pollination starts, butterflies start showing up. It's awesome. So, yeah, we need to make a automatic purifier so that we don't waste energy. Because as you can see here, it's going down rather fast. So, yeah, we need to make sure that they run as much as possible. But what we need is we need another couple of drones or another couple of queens. So we need to purify some. Which is also the reason why we're making another alveary, because then we... Oops, there we go. There's the effect. 30 seconds of poison. Asshole bees. If I make a place in a jungle, I'll probably try to breed that rather annoying aspect out of them, but for now, it's kind of fun. And you can avoid it. You just need to make an apiarist suit, and you actually make that from their combs, so yeah, that's a good thing. Let's have a look here. This is done. This is half empty already. This here is starting to fill up, so since this is half empty, I think we're going to take the battery, set it to recharge and grab a fresh one. Because most of the power consummation at the moment has gone away, so we should be able to run the rest of the evening off another battery, I think. It's always a little iffy, but yeah, we're gonna try. Okay, so let's see here. There we go. And let's make some more stacks here. So if we do that, stick that in there so it can work. Grab these. Let's put them here for now. Okay. So the other one is done, so now we can go down and place the machina. So let's see. Machina comes under what? It comes 2 before metallum, and I'm pretty sure we have metallum, otherwise we have lucrum. So right between lucrum and metallum, right after lux. Let's see, this is lucrum, this is lux. It's right after lux, right? Right after lux. Lux. So if we pop that, and just to mark which one it is, we'll do that, and then we can go in and lock it afterwards, so we don't need to stand here and look at it for a whole time. So yeah. Da, 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 da. But let's have a quick look at the piping. So if we go in here, you can see it comes down here from the top, it will go out this way. It just takes one servo to do this. Goes all the way this way and then back this way. So it just senses that, oh, there's an open space, and then pops it in there. But as you can see, we still have torches down here, so we need to do something about that. But if we look out here, we don't have a whole lot of niter left, so we need to make more. However, if we look in here, we have one glowstone here and another one over here. So in order to get more glowstone, we're going to do some transmutation. So let's start doing that. So in order to do it, we need 3 lux and 1 census. If we look in the book here, no, not under aspects of magic, alchemy, alchemical duplication. We can duplicate glowstone by taking 3 lux and 1 census into a crucible. So that's what we're going to do. One more. There we are. Let's just fill our bargains so that we won't... Oh, we can control where it goes. Accidentally tossed in a glowstone. So we can do that and then give it back, please. Need to keep a little bit concentrated with it. Oh. Hi T-Snow, welcome. No worries. Okay, let's see here. We're missing 1 lux, so let's go and grab that. We have it down here. So 1 lux, that will be enough to finish off the stack. There we are. So that's 1 stack of glowstone, then we need to make another. Ah, keep on doing that. Some more lux and let's get going. So the reason why we want to use the shard is because we have no leftover essentia in the cauldron here, so it's not going to produce any flux whatsoever, the stuff we see over there. So that's a very good thing. You can see this little guy over there keeps on wanting to come and pick things up. I can illustrate that if I do this. Like, I'm about to pick these up now, and then... Whoop. He's such a little terrorist. An adorable terrorist, but still... Okay, last bit. There we go. 2 stacks of glowstone. Now we need one of the stacks of glowstone along with all of these. I can't remember the precise amount we need, so we're going to check that in our book after we have gone to bed. So now we're making night ore. So night ore requires 1 glowstone and 3 of each of those. So if we do this maybe. Actually, let's do it like this. Let's make a little bit more space. Okay, so we're going to need a little bit more space, so let's pop our sword in there as well. we're basically going to make a full stack of nitor, so I'll just grab this. Wait, did you just steal my stuff? You bugger. Yeah, I think we might have lost some there. Yeah, there's some sensors in there. Oh well. We'll try to repair that damage afterwards. Yep, there's the flags. It shouldn't really bubble over, so I don't think we'll have any trouble, but yeah. Okay, we need some more. No. Okay, we're nearing. Okay, let's prepare again. The reason we're doing it 3 at a time is because if we put too much inside this will start boiling over, so we don't want that to happen either. So yeah. Okay, so we're missing one. So in order to do the one, well, we got a little extra here because the bugger stole it. So we are going to make some more. So we need some sensors and some sensors is over here. Of course, we don't have any. Bums. Oh well. We'll just grab a normal stuff and then we'll fix the glowstone later. So we will grab one of these and then grab some lux. No. 3 please. Okay, so get this on a bar and make the last nitro. There we are. 64 nitro. So now that that is sorted, let's sort our inventory again. Let's grab the glowstone and let's pop downstairs. Because you can see I've left some spots open here. That's because these are going to be filled with glowstone. Basically matching the pattern I also used upstairs. And then here. Did we already do this one? I don't think so, no. So, there we go, and then we need here. There we go. Then we can take these, finish this up. Need some marble. There and here, and then we just need some pink bricks to finish it up. Do we have any, is the question. We do. Like that. Okay, and then we just need to pop in, that was wrong, some nitro, and we're good. So our room now is well lit and finished, and I think this is okay as well, so let's just double check here. So we have here, at least this is 15, so 14, 13, 12, 11, it should be fine. Famous last words. Sleep. Thanks, son. I needed some extra storage for my crystallized essence. I was running out of the chest space and was actually a little tired of doing it by hand, so figured, might as well. Let's see, the nitro we have down here. Okay, and then up here. This is completely out of honey because this is full. Okay, just grab these so that the black ones can process. See, the good thing is, senses comes from dye, so if I get too much dye I can always boil that down into crystallized essence. So that is very nice. Let's see over here. I'm not sure, you might actually be pure, but let's wait a little bit and see if you go above 32. If you go above 32, I believe that you're pure and we will test you. You should start mutating, please. You need to be purified. So we have normal, slowest, slow. You're starting to learn the things. You have good genes, but not the best stats. Short slowest slow or short normal slow? You do not have the nocturnal yourself, but you do have normal slowest slow, so if we take a chance we could try to see if we can make you nocturnal. That would be nice. Okay. I know I'm putting those in there. They don't know. They shouldn't go in there. They should go up here because they're actually good drones. So we will pack them in here. At least until we're done with them. Let's check over here on our thingy here. We have used about a quarter of it. And I'm not sure that she's actually run. Yes, she's run at least one time. I think she produces 2 drones each time, which is not a lot. It's going to take a lot of power to do. So let's see here, we have a grafter, and we also have some pollen. So with the grafter, let's see, let's get a treealizer. Then we will not fall in the water, please. Bob. Okay, so now we're looking for lime leaves that has been pollinated with something. It has been pollinated with apple oak. So let's grab that. That gives us a silver lime sapling. This has apple oak. So, oh, look at that! Hill cherry sapling. That's exactly what we wanted. Let's analyze it. It's a pure hill cherry. Very, very nice. Okay, so let's see if we can gather some more here. Trying to see, they're a little hard to see on some of the trees. There's one there. You see, this is a lot easier. So let's see here. That gave us another silver lime. Okay, so let's, for the sake of it, try our hill cherry here. Let's see, hill cherry can be used for... What is this? Wood cutting core? Hill cherry pollen can make black cherry sapling, butternut sapling. If we combine it with walnut, we don't have walnut. But what we are looking for is this one, orchard apple sapling, which takes a hill cherry pollen and an apple oak sapling. So the next thing we would want to do is we'd want to take basically these trees down and then try and grow a hill cherry and get some saplings out of that. So let's see here. We'll save the rest of that. And then let's... should we take these down? I think we should. There's no sense in wasting grafter uses on it, so let's just take down the trees and see what it gives us. And the last one. Okay, so let's just get rid of the wood so that we can pick up some saplings. Let's see, oak wood will keep. Did we not pick up birch? I don't think we picked up birch. Okay, let's see what we got here. Put that in there. So they produce the normal, like the normal stuff in regards to the tree. So you get the normal wood, but you have a chance of getting, or rather the leaves are different on the tree, so that's a good thing. Let's just take this, pop it in there. Alright, you have a good evening. Thanks for dropping by. Okay, so let's see here. These should be pure saplings, I believe. These, however, might be mutants. They certainly are. So we'll stick those in here. Okay, let's just analyze these, I guess. Pure silver birch, pure apple oak. So stick those in there. We'll take the hill cherry, and the hill cherry we will put over here. And to help it along, we're going to grab some bone meal. Don't know if one will be enough, probably not. Oh, it was. That looks funky. Okay, so now that we have one, let's try and get some saplings from it. So that we have some extra saplings. I'd actually like to get some more. But the problem is that we need to be able to have enough grafters for it, so let's see here. Grafter, if I can spell, grafter. So we have a grafter, a proven grafter, I think you can only find those, thaumium grafter, mana steel grafter, industrial grafter, grafters that run on power. So that is bronze ingots and sticks. Do we want to do that, or do we want to try and go for the thaumium grafter? I think we want to try the thaumium grafter out because we actually have one. So we'll take the thaumium grafter, but so that it doesn't break, we're going to put repair 1 on it. So there we go. That's a grafter with repair. It's just about to turn night time, so we're going to sleep. Now it should be more durable just in itself from being made of thaumium, but with repair we'll be able to use basically the charges on our wand here in order to repair it, which will be nice. I'd like to up it to repair 2, but I'd like a few things to have repair, so yeah, we're going to wait a little bit. Okay, so let's grab a few more saplings here. There we are. It's slowly eating away. It's actually not eating as much as I expected it to. So I think we're going to grab a few more. So that's 8, so let's grab one more. Stick them in here, and then we'll cut down the tree. Okay, and they even gave us one more sapling, 2 more saplings, very nice. Okay, so since we have all those saplings, we're going to use 2 of them, I think, and then go for the no, wait, we need 2 apple oaks and 1 hill cherry. The cherry wood will stick in the box. So we'll stick an apple oak there, and an apple oak there. It's important that it is the apple oak being pollinated by the hill cherry. So we'll try to make these 2 grow first, and then afterwards get this thing to grow. Oh, and I can see that our coke oven is done working, so we're going to grab some wood and stick inside of that. And since we have so much charcoal, you might ask, why do we keep making more? Well, my backpack here, my thaumostatic harness, runs on potentia, so I need a fresh source of it. And that's actually the purpose for this stuff here. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and make an basically a backpack refill station. So in order to do that, we're going to try and make some stuff here. So let's grab this, and also this. And let's just change our clothes here. Because we're going to need to craft something. So we need a core. We need to have a void jar. Then we need to have a bow tie. Okay, that's a lot of what we need. So these 2 are done for now. We need the crystallised essence here of aqua and vacuous. Then we need to also take these and make sure we do this right. We should probably also craft the other thing, but oh well. So we need to have the motus, spiritus and humanus. So a wooden golem. Then we'll take the aqua and vacuous. That gives us a golem core of decanting, but that's not the one we're looking for. So let's take a little guy here. Let's put him here. It's not going to be able to work because he's not done yet. But while we are at it, let's just grab all of this. Finish our crafting and we can change back to a mobility gear. So arcane stone, crucible, and a furnace gives us an alchemical furnace. So now that that is done, We can grab all of this. We can stick this back in there. Then we can take these. We need to have all of this in place. A water jar. And then we need to have the decanting core in the center. There we are. And then we need to have our wand. And that should be enough for this enchantment, but we're going to need to have some essentia as well. So let's just check what we need here. We need to make the alchemy core that takes aqua, motors and presentatio, 15 of each. So aqua we have here, motors we have over here, and presentatio we have over here. There we are, and let's start the process. Hey you arse, that's the wrong jar. That's not good. That's not good at all. Crafting, crafting, crafting. Ah! Ah! I wasn't expecting it to blow it up. The ass. Oh, it ate a little bit more essentia than it needed to, but we managed to stop it. Yeah, ass. You bugger. Alright, so we now have our alchemy core here, so we can upgrade our guy. And he doesn't have an interface, so let's see here, we have this. Put that on you. You're standing weird. Okay, so we need to have our golem bell. So you. Yeah. So with that, no. Let's see. Let's grab these. The void jar. Then down here we will put our alchemical furnace here. These two on top. Then we need these to be marked, so we'll pop upstairs. And we'll take our void jar, put it here. We'll take, stop it. We'll take one of these. Okay, that we shouldn't put back in there yet. We need to have one of these first, and then we can take it back. And the other one is for potentia, so we'll put it here and mark it. And while we add it, we'll just fill these. Then we'll craft this. Okay, so we have you go there. This is your home location. Then we'll mark these 2 spots. And I think that will be enough. So if we take the jar of Essentia Potentia, jar of Essentia Ignis, let's look at this. I don't know if it'll be okay like this, but we're going to try it. So basically what we should be able to do now is refill our backpack this way. And what it'll do is we can put in the jar of Potentia, and he will basically refill the jar and just put it into it, and the Ignis Essentia we will just burn off basically, which I'm not a fan of, but it's more for the principle of it. So we'll take 32 of those and our slabs, and we'll pop that upstairs and try it out. Okay, so if we go into this, let's see what he'll do. Well, he's picking up Essentia, but he's not putting it anywhere. So I guess we need to remove these marks and instead mark these. So now he'll do it. And I do believe if we take this off and put it here, then he should fill this. Yeah. So I'll just top off our bag here. And if this one is the most full, he will finish filling that up first. No, he's still filling this one. Don't look so confused, I'm just messing with you. So basically what he's doing is he's taking the Essentia from the thingy here, the distillery, and then he's putting it in those 2. So let's see here, if we go to that. We can finish off the Essentia that way. Okay, and you're full up on Essentia, so put the rest in this, please. And the reason we're using a void jar is because if it goes over 64, it will just basically disappear from this. We don't really need a whole lot of Ignis, because if we look over here, we already have over 12 stacks of the bloody stuff and we don't really use it for a whole lot. So yeah, we really don't need it all that bad, but it's more for the principle of basically refueling this way. So what you could do is you could basically just boil off some Essentia here, and this basically pop down your bag next to it and he will fill it up. So 64, 64 and the 60. So there we are. we have a backpack refilling station. So now that that is done, let's go check on our bees. Also our trees. So let's see here. You look very much to be pure. You could be pure. So let's stop you at the next round and get you tested. We'll check you. Normal, slowest, slowest. That's not the best. Normal, slowest, slow. Normal, slowest, slow. You're probably the best bet. I will run you with you. You're a mutant, and you are a mutant, and you we don't really need to check. How are you doing over here? You're still producing drones? But you're also using a lot of power. Okay, so what's that? So that's one project done. Then we have this stuff too. So let's change our outfit. That gives enchanted paper. The enchanted paper we can combine with white dye, which gives a runic white list. And the runic white list we can combine with a chest and a crafting bench. Somehow. I need to check my book. It is not thaumatic tinkering. No. Automagy. Golem workbench. Oh yeah, it's enchanting. So we need Humanus, Ordo, and Fabrico. We have all of those. Let's get our gear back on. Let's just double check that it's right. Yes. Yes. So we'll do that. And the chest in the opposite corner. We have the Fabrico up here. We have the Ordo over here. And the last one we needed was... it was Humanus, which we also have over here. So that should be fine. Okay. Oh, it blew up something. You're really being arsy today, you know that? Okay, so how much did we lose? A little bit of Humanus. Probably a little bit of Ordo. and a little bit of fabrico. Okay, so there's another thing I want to mess with, which is the golem workbench. Okay, so I want to basically figure out how this thing works. Inside of here, you can lay out a pattern, and then resources will be put down here. And then you need something, or someone to take it out of it again. So I don't know who is actually crafting it, if that is a use golem or if it's the one that takes it out. But I think you need two to basically fill it. But I'm pretty sure that it's set specifically a empty golem. So let's see here. A golem with the empty core is attached to the workbench. Instruct the golem to only take the item you wanted to craft. Okay, so we need a golem with the empty core. So the empty core, that's fill empty. That's lucrum and vacuous and a golem core. Okay, can do. So, was it 5 we needed? I think so. Yeah, 5. 5 lucrum, 5 vacuous. Vacuous is probably the last one. Yep. Oops. Okay. So let's just stick those in here. Take the magic paper and put it in there. Oh, we actually do have one already made with the empty core. We can use him. How convenient is that? Hey, that was not what I wanted. Come back. Get in my pocket. Let's just stick these back in the basement. Which is enough to do it like that. So what happens basically is it takes it from the front chest, puts it in the second one, and then takes it out of that. That's how this setup is working. I'd like to do something with a greedy chest so I don't have to be able to see it through here, but I haven't figured out how to do that quite yet. Okay, so the empty core here. So if we take you, then we'll make our example over here. Okay. So what we're going to try is we're going to try some stone. We're going to give you this pattern. It's a little finicky. And then we need to give you an inventory to dump the stuff into. That's not what we wanted. Whoops. Well, we have 2 workbenches now. Back at me. Okay, so if we give you an inventory over there to work with, then we could say you live there and you respond to there. Why do you have seeds? This makes no sense. Then we would like you to act on bricks. So only take bricks, please. rid of this again. Okay. So, if I put this in here, what will happen? Yes. Yes. That is awesome. Okay, let's try something else. So we have a fill core, which takes famous and vacuous. Famous. I believe this is famous. And vacuous. Then we need to have some clay. I do believe we have one or some in one of these. I'll stick that in this. And then we need a night ore for it. And then we need to have spiritus, humanus, and a great wood log. Oh, he's suffering from lethargy, I think. So that means he's working slower than usual. Basically, if they work too long, they get tired. Which is even more adorable. Okay, so I don't have inventory space for it, so we will just take these. Do the night ore, the core, change our suit, craft, go, fill core, and then we need to take the spiritus humanus. Let's see, spiritus humanus. Yep, humanus. Spiritus is over here. Use spiritus. Use spiritus. And the motors, which I believe is this one. No, that's auto. So this is motors. Yep. Okay, so let's see here. No, 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 no. Don't you dare. It's mine. There we go. Wooden golem. So we will give him this inventory as home. Give him a fill core. Actually, we should not give him that inventory. That is wrong. We should give him this inventory. And then we should give him stone as what he works with. So we'll take this. Precise amount? Nah, any amount. What do you want to keep here, Master? Master, should I remove everything from this container or specific? Something specific. So, I don't think anything will happen if we do this. So we need to tell him to work with this inventory. Oh, that is awesome. Now the only problem is that they're a little limited in what they can do. They can basically only work in a 2x2 pattern, which is a little bit of a problem, and they cannot use this, which is expected. But these little fellas can craft for us. If we want them to craft in a 3x3, they're going to need to be advanced golems, but for them to be advanced golems, we basically need to dabble in forbidden magic, and I'm not sure yet if I'm willing to do that. But this way we can use a golem crafting bench to do crafting automation, which is awesome. Okay, let's see here. You are at 33. Of course, they will suffer from lethargy, but you can add, I think it is the earth core or the earth upgrade to them, and then they will become less lethargic, so that will help. And he's done. Okay, let's check on our trees, see if they have grown. At least one of them has grown. Okay, let's see here. Normal, slowest, slow. All stats. Normal, slowest, slow. All stats. You're a good candidate. Normal, slowest, slow. All stats. Short, slowest, slowest. Short, slowest, slowest. What is the difference? Huh. Normal, slowest, slow. You can see that it's turning nighttime. You are not a good candidate, so we will take you. And we will take you. Let's test you. You're pure appetite. So we will save you. And then we'll go to bed. No, it was over here I wanted it. There. So I don't know how helpful the golem crafting will be unless we can get advanced golems. Basically, they will be able to turn ingots into. I think you can turn. You can use one table to turn any ingot or any nugget into ingots, because you can give them an upgrade that makes them ignore NBT data, which I believe will make them do that, but I'm not sure. But either way, as long as it's symbol patterns where all is the same, they can do a 3x3, otherwise it needs to be a 2x2 if it's an advanced pattern. But yeah, basically I'd like to make them able to, for instance, work on making me food, which would be nice. Hi there, Sean, welcome. How are you tonight? Okay, let's check our plum bum bees here. No, not our plum bum bees. Our plum bum princesses. You... Your drones are pure. Your drones are pure. So let's take one drone for comparison. Short and normal, fast. Yes, yes, no, yes. Short and normal, fast. Yes, yes, no, yes, yes. Short and normal, fast. Yes, yes, no, yes. Lovely. So let's run them one more time. Just to get rid of the analyze drone and the analyze status. And then we have what we need to make an Auric princess. Yeah. I'm glad to hear that you're good. Look, I have butterflies. Butterfly, where did you go? Oh, there he is. Coming after you. Look at that. That's so cool. I ran into a little bit of a problem because if you look down here, this here has no more biomass in it. That's because we ran out of apples. So in order to make it work, we need to have something that produces more apples. So now I'm gone into tree breeding so that I can make an orchard apple tree. And I've also made this bugger up here, which is very slowly producing drones, but also consuming a buttload of power. See, I might have to figure something out there. But all in all, works okay. Oh, we need to discard the drones here. Stick you in there. So in order to get the orchard apple, we need to have this fella here, the hill cherry sapling. I'm waiting for the other apple oak to grow. Once that is growing, or that has grown, I'm going to plant the hill cherry, and then I'm going to let the bees pollinate them, so that I can. That was weird. So that I can go in and graft some saplings from it and hopefully get what I need. I see you over there. Don't think I don't. Suck it. Also you. And you. You can forget about jumping me. Okay, so let's grab a magic mirror. Just stick that through so it doesn't fill our inventory. And then let's grab some beans here. Expanded the farm a little bit so that we have some more space. And mostly growing rares at the moment, but not too bad. Like the temperas and the sano. Those are a little bit more of an arse to get hold of, so I figured might as well do those. Let's grab all the beans that are on the ground and let's plant some new ones. There we are. 2 there. temperatures on the aurum. There we are. I'd like to make some more foci, but I need some nether shards in order to do it, so right now I can't, but it'll come. That's what she said. Let's see here, we have 15 pink, and we have, where's my black? 14 black. Get you centrifuging. And how are you doing? Doing okay. Where did I stick my center plating there? I forgot. I don't understand why these are only sometimes coming. It doesn't make any sense. Here they are. Like, I thought that lady had turned off the connection, but apparently not. But then all of a sudden it stops anyway. It makes no sense. Okay. Let's grab the drops and get them working. How are you doing now? Almost done. Almost done with your cycle. So that means that we should start making a base for you. We have a base right here. So we are looking for the Auric Princess. Well, while it thinks, I'm just going to grab myself another glass of stuff. Just another glass of bubbly. Wow, it's really taking a long time. Might be facing a crash. Da, da, da. We might have a crash. Yep, there it came. Well, let's crash it then. Restart. It takes a little bit of a moment, of course, but not too bad. Okay. But yeah, what we're trying to work on is basically a bee that will produce gold, and the basis for that is the auric bee. So in order to, well, the basis for that is the plum bum bee, so we just need to figure out what is the secondary bee for it so that we can start going back and forth. But yeah, I can't remember. But other than that, we've done a few things. We have gotten an alveary working, and we've messed with golem crafting. We've made an automated basement. We've made what is it called? A thermostatic harness refill station. Yeah, all in all, pretty good. Okay. And now we just wait. I don't know what happened in the beginning of the stream, like 5 minutes before the stream was supposed to start, I get a coughing fit like the first day that I was sick, and I just coughed and coughed and coughed and couldn't stop, and then I started the stream, and yeah, it was rather unpleasant. But for some reason now I'm no longer coughing, and I have no explanation as to why. But I'm happy enough that I stayed home today, since obviously I'm not done being sick yet. But yeah, the bees and the trees, they work hand in hand. So I'm hoping that by using basically the orchard trees, that we will then get a high enough output of apples that we can use pure apple juice for the farm. I'm not sure we will, but it's worth a try. But yeah, once we get in here, I'll show you what we've been doing with the golems. Because we have been doing a few experiments. using a couple of new golems we haven't used before. There we are. Just going to refill while it loads in. Okay. Let's see, it's turned night time in the meantime. Wet. Wet all of a sudden. Okay, let me just do. Okay, so let's have a look at what we have made. So, hey, stuck on a chest. If we grab some stone here, this is just a test setup. I haven't tried anything more advanced yet, but basically these two fellas, this guy over here and this guy here, they are small crafters. So if I put stone in here, this guy will take the stone and put it in the table, and this guy will craft and put it in the box. And after he's been working for a while, he starts getting a little tired, but that's understandable. So if we hop in here, it is on the automagy. We go down here, we have the golem's workbench. So there we have all the stuff, and we can see here, I think it is the let's see, order upgrade. That is the one that keeps stuff inside. That will be useful if we were making, for instance, pink bricks, but yeah, that's a problem also. It may ignore items damage levels, ignore NBT data, or check the ore dictionary to determine what it should attempt to craft. Upgrades. Okay, so entropy earth. Yeah, so if we upgrade the table basically with an earth upgrade, then the golem's strength will be added to the crafting process, and it won't become as lethargic as fast. You can see now it's lethargic, so it's going to craft slower. And then other than that, we have been working down in the basement, because we've made this little fellow over here, who is our backpack refiller. Basically what he does is he will take essentia, and then he will stick it in these bottles and refill our backpack with it. So let's see here. Gonna need a couple more. I'm not gonna let it go to waste unless I have to. Would be done. So there we are. Okay, so what we were looking at was the auric princess. So auric. So let's see here. Auric princesses are made by taking an imperial princess and a plum bum drone. Okay. There's actually an Imperial Princess we need. I had seen that wrong. Well then, let's make some Imperial Princesses, shall we? Take these drones. And I think you are pure, and I think you are pure. And we'll take the princesses. No sense in letting them go to waste, we can always give them to someone. And for now we'll just stick them in here. Drones, the drones go out here. Okay, so now we need Imperial Princesses. Fair enough. So, to do that, we need to have some princesses of pristine stock. So we will just grab those. Harvest you. Stick that in there. And then we'll go out here and add them to our boxes. Get you two in there. Just double check that you are pristine. And then you, I believe you are Imperials. Yep. So, let's get you working. Oh, and our tree has grown. So let's get our last tree planted so that it can grow up. And then we should start seeing pollination. I don't think that apple oak can pollinate apple oak, but I'm not sure. Could be, but we'll have to wait and see. And then we need to make our place to actually make our auric bees. And to make the auric bees, we're going to need a base of gold. As it says here, it requires a block of gold as foundation. So we have that now. I think just to speed that along, we'll use our bone meal again. There we are. So now we basically just wait and see. The bees will do the work for us. They will cause these two trees to intermingle, and we will see the cross-pollination, and then we just go in and graft it afterwards and see if we can get something out of them. Oh, butterfly. Yeah, they started showing up the moment I started placing down these trees. It's really nice. Oh, let's see, you are done. Let's check you. Normal, slowest, slow. Yeah. But you do have everything. Normal, slowest, slow. You have a potential to have everything. Okay, we'll use you two together and try to get you everything. And you, we will give you yet that one. You actually have everything. It's very nice. And actually we don't need these as base anymore, so we can take those away. Also grab these. Turn it to on low. So they're off now. And the appetite we can put down here. Nope, that's the wrong chest. It goes in here. Alright. And I have a suspicion that you're out of power. You certainly are. So you don't want to work anymore, so we need to supply you new power. I think it's going to be very power hungry, but not much we can do about that. At least we can actually use our bees here. That's the benefit of the alveary. Let's see here. So we have alveary, and we have the alveary heater, which is the one that is using stuff. But it doesn't say anything about its power consumption. It is certainly a lot. Let's see, generator. A solar generator. Diamond block, owie. Doesn't say anything about what it produces. I don't think we're going to be trying that right now. So it's just about to turn night time. Let's just grab our princesses here. We're going to start putting you to work as well. Pop in bed. Okay, so you two, you require us to have some soul frames. So grab you. Potentially some of better quality if we have. We do. Of course, we have one bee left in our inventory. Because it was grey and I didn't see it. Okay, so let's hop down here, and then in these two, we'll stick our family princesses, frames, and then what we need other than that is our jungle bees. Ah! Stop stinging me, you assholes. Okay, let's just mark them. So you are caffeinated, which is family plus jungle. Just to make sure though. Caffeinated, which is tropical drone, and family. Is it tropical drones we have, or is it jungle drones? It is tropical drones. Good. I was afraid I was going to have to mutate those first. That would be a major ass. And of course this bug is stung me again. So, caffeinated, family plus tropical is the right word. And these here are auric, which is the imperial plus plum bun. Now, do we have any here that are pollinated? Not any that I can see. Oh, there's one there that's pollinated. That's not what we want. We want the other ones pollinated with the hill cherry, and that will be what we need. But it'll come. Again, that's what she said. Okay, let's check you. You've made 6 so far. Actually, instead of putting these in here, we should put them in here. That would be a better idea. Okay, so let's have a look here. Thaumonomicon. So the golem's workbench. Many recipes are too complicated for typical golem, so the recipe must fit in a 2x2 grid, or all of its components must be the same. Perhaps more advanced golems would be so limited. That's basically a reference to the advanced golems here, but that is taboo knowledge. So not really something we have a huge desire to mess with. I did also look at some other stuff, if I can find it. Here it is. So here we have gaseous illumine. So basically what that is bottled light. And what that does is you release it in an area, and then it creates a gaseous light, which will light up an area without any use of torches or anything. So that's very, very nice. So I might start messing around with that, because that would actually be quite nice. It is a little expensive to do. The air, not so bad. We can get that from sugarcane. Lux, not so much either. That comes from torches. Motus is a little bit more of an ass, but yeah, we can get that too. Essentia funnel. Even transfer. I'm curious. Thaumic restorer. Less cracks than a potato on a stick. You grew tired of managing your jars with files, so to that you created this new mechanism to transfer the contents of one into another. By placing this block above a hopper and right-clicking it with a filled jar, if the hopper is pointing into a jar that's either empty or of the same aspect, the contents of the jar will be transferred over. Okay, sounds interesting. We looked a little bit into enchanting, but we haven't really done a whole lot there. I'd really like to get in and make this thing here. Really want to make that, but I need to have sloth shards. And I don't have any myself. I think T-Snow might have some, so let's pop over there real quick and have a look. If he does have it, then I might be able to either trade or get some from him. So shard. We have a wrath shard. We have 45 sloth shards, so I might be able to do that, but not gonna take any before I ask him. That would be arsey. So yeah, not gonna do that. Is this one mine? I think so. Oops. Okay, so let's get this back on our bar. Check on you. You're still running, as are you. See if there is any pollinated, not any that I can see. And you. Basically, I figured out how to use the pollen here. The way it works is if you have a leaf block like this, you can use the pollen directly on it and it will make the pollination that you wish. Each pollen is different, but I don't have any hill cherry pollen. I only have red spruce and silver birch. So if I was trying to, for instance with the lime tree, I could have used the silver birch here to pollinate more leaves if I needed to, and then try to graft those to get this what is it called, the saplings out of it. But yeah, I fortunately didn't have to do that, so I get to save my pollen. I did use my apple pollen to basically kickstart me, because in order to get the hill not hill cherry, the what is it called? The hill lime, I think it's called. Or is it silver lime? Silver lime, I think it is. You need to couple a silver birch with apple. So I basically just took a silver birch and impregnated it. So yeah, that worked. Let's see, how are you two doing? Ooh. 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 Exciting. Let's see. Shorter, slower, faster. Wheat. Average. So you turned completely into a pure princess. That's pretty awesome. if we use you, you basically turn pure right away. You're a little bit arsey, but if you two go together, let's put the frames in there. Okay, so let's check you. Let's see, your other drones here. You two are mutants, so we're not going to use you. But you two are interesting. So I think we might want to try and combine you two. See what you give. Are you a little dangerous? I'm gonna stick you in here for now. That was very quick that we got a mutation out of those. I'm not opposed to that. I'm not sure what the base chance is though. 10%. Which is actually not very much considering the Auric Princess is 8%, so yeah. But yeah, we don't want them to get a poison effect. That is a risky thing. And then we also want to try and get them to work off of flowers. So we might have to do some crossbreeding and basically get them working that way. Okay, still a lot to do there. Don't really want to use my regular honey for it because both analyzing trees and analyzing bees takes honey, so don't want to use too much of it. See, it's still coming out. Where's it coming from? Is it because they've run out of power or something over there? And then it suddenly stalls? It confuses me. But yeah, we're making good progress. This hole is going to bother me. And you are now done. Good. Okay, let's see here. You are normal, slowest, slow. Normal, slowest, slow. Normal, slowest, slow. You two wants to be paired. You have everything, but the other genes are kind of shitty. I think what we are going to do is we're going to take you, and you two. We're going to stick the rest of those in there. And we should fill up on honey as well. Like now that I've started doing the thing with the trees, and just every time I'm passing by I'm having a look at them just to see how they're doing. So yeah. Let me see here. Doing a little bit of a test here. Not satisfied though. Gonna have to work on that. Okay, let's have a look. Lord of Hellfire, Umbral Rose, Riding Crop, and Botany.
Please do not leave cases or parcels unattended anywhere on the station.
Let's see here. Necromancer staff, not really interested. Warp is bad, okay. Talisman of Nourishment. Thermostatic stabilizer. Oblivion jar. Do we want an Oblivion jar? Maybe. I think it basically just eats everything that's put inside of it. I have scribing tools. I don't have paper. Bums. Burned all my paper. There we go, now we have paper. Now we can do. Oop. Now, is there anything else we want while we are at it, is the question. Boots of the Comet, Ice Baby, and Boots of the Meteor, Common Slam. I'm kinda curious about those two. I think this one is boots that makes fire, and this one is boots that makes ice. Maybe makes you able to walk on water, but let's make them just to find out. Let's see, ethereal shard, artificial vis storage, interesting. Alchiponics, interesting. Great wood boat and something. You have many skills, but building sturdy boats and piloting them are not among these, no matter. With a bit of thaumaturgical know-how and some great wood logs, you can construct a boat capable of returning to its original shape after even the most embarrassing collisions. Additional enchantments make it slightly faster than an ordinary boat. The great wood boat will never be destroyed on impact, but can be picked up by punching it like any other boat. The faster bit is cool. Moulton Mariner. Let's take that as well. Leave my research alone. Mine. Okay, let's see here. It's a complicated one. Let's see, is there one that's easier? Okay, so messes to Herber and Lux. So, messes. Messes goes to Herber. Herber goes to Arbor. So Herber, Arbor, Arbor, Herber, Air. There we go, one done. That's also a bigger one. So we'll save that a moment. Also a bigger one. Also a bigger one. Okay, senses to Lux in 5 spaces. Senses gives to air. Okay, so we can walk it. Air, Herber. Oh, not Herber. Herber's the connector. Arbor is the carrier. Let's see, Potentia. There's order and fire. Let's see if we go into Ordo. Ordo. Vitreous. Terra. Okay. Water to Golem, I think it is in 4 spaces. Okay, Golem is fire for some reason, and Peditio. So if we go Peditio. If we go Peditio, we could go into Venenum, and then into Aqua. Aqua, and then we have Motus to that, so Motus can go into Order, we can go into Vitreous, we can go into Terra, we can go into Victus. So, Ordo, Vitreous, Terra, Victus. Ordo, Vitreous, Terra, Victus. And then Motus to Iter in 4 spaces. Iter goes to Motus or Terra. Motus goes to Ordo. So if we go to, let's see, if we go to Vitreous, Terra, I think we'll do that. Vitreous, Terra, and then something that connects Terra, which could be Herber. Okay, odd. boots of the meteor. Okay, so here we could do auto, vitreous, terra. Then we have the feather, which I can't remember the name of. Oh, but it's the last one. Volatus goes into air. Okay. That's all we need to know. Air. Air can go into arbor, which can go into herba. So, arbor, herba. And then we have ignis goes to something. Could take it to Potentia. Must be a good idea because then we can just walk it like this. So anything we have a lot of that contains fire. Could do Cognitio. I think we'll do Cognitio. That's that one. Oblivion Jar. Okay, so alien is to Beditio in 3 spaces. We can go to vacuous. Vacuous can go to Presentatio, which can go to Potentia. See, vacuous. Vacuous can go to Beditio. Oh, our scribing tools are done. And then we need to refill them. And we need some ink. There we are. Or rather black dye, we don't really use ink. Okay. And vacuous we can combine by air. And that means that we can do that, and then we can combine those two by arbor. And then we have famus. Famus goes into... Where is Famus? Famus is over here. It goes to vacuous or victus. So if we go to victus, we could go to terra from there. So victus, terra, herba. One more. Okay, so aurum to presentatio in 5 spaces. Aurum contains presentatio, it also contains air. Presentatio contains vacuous and potentia. So if we go to, not tenebrae, vacuous please. Then we can go to air. Air. Go to arbor. just walk it with that. Messed up a little bit with the placement, but go well. Okay, Potentatio. Potentia. Keep going with Potentatio. Potentia goes to Ignis and Auto. Auto goes to... Vitreous, which can go to Terra. So Auto, Vitreous, Terra. Auto, Vitreous, Terra, yeah. Vitreous, Terra, and then we need a Herba. And done. Okay, now it's just a matter of actually testing these out. Okay, let's see here. So in here we have the Boots of the Comet, we have the Oblivion Jar. So Oblivion Jar, while Void Jars are very useful in getting rid of large amount of a certain type of essentia, you often find your infusion room overflowing with several types. Instead of wasting time making Void Jars for every mystical aspect, you decided that there must be an easier solution. The solution has manifested itself in the form of the Oblivion Jar. While significantly more expensive than the void or watered counterparts, only one Oblivion Jar is necessary to handle all the excess essentia from a network. It will obliterate all essentia that enters the jar, much like a filled void jar does. The Oblivion Jar has the lowest suction of any jar, meaning that it will only take essentia that has nowhere else to go. Golems may interact with the jar as well, if they do not find another jar that can handle the essentia they are carrying. Warded glass, hungry chest and entropy shards. Doesn't look like we know how to make warded glass yet. Boots of the Comet. The boots of the Traveller are fast, but you think that there's room for improvement. By infusing boots of the Traveller with Aqua and Golem, you have created a pair of boots with unrivaled speed. These boots allow the user to run with the speed of a comet, covering large tracts of land in a matter of seconds. Water can do nothing to slow you when wearing the boots of the comet. Water will temporarily be frozen underneath your feet. Awesome. Water crystal cluster. Boots of the Meteor. Your boots of the Traveller has been very useful, but sometimes you have desired even more mobility. By imbuing the boots of the Traveller with the raw power of Ignis and Potentia, you've created a pair of boots with unrivaled mobility. These boots propel the warrior with the force of a meteor in the direction you are looking. If they jump while crouching, pressing the crouch button while in midair will launch the player towards the ground at incredible speeds, damaging anything nearby at the point of impact. That sounds awesome. Okay, so here, arcane lenses. Goggles of revealing are an indispensable tool on their own, but what if your lenses could be further augmented? By placing a special lens over one eye, you can benefit from both the goggles of mystic sight and the lens unique ability. Lenses can be quickly swapped by holding the V key, or removed by pressing the V key, or by pressing V while holding Shift. The first such lens you have developed amplifies incoming light, granting you constant night vision. Wow. Sadly, the primal fire used in its construction reacts poorly with fluids, so this amplification does not function underwater. Okay. Scholar's lens. Research made easy. X-ray spectacles. Kyrian lens, second sight. Alcaponics. Well, inanimate matter is easy enough to modify through alchemy. Living things seldomly survive the process. Your recent work has taken a somewhat different track. Instead of attempting to modify plants, you have simply used alchemy to accelerate their natural growth, their natural life cycle. By soaking the seed of common food crops in concentrated essence of light water and soil, plants can be grown with astonishing speed. Unfortunately, this process takes its toll. The plants invariably die shortly after fruiting. Most crops can be further propagated from alcaponics products but wheat grown in this manner is sterile. Huh. Interesting. And finally, ethereal shard. Let's see. The ethereal essence left over from a destroyed aura node has long been a tantalizing mystery. It seems to retain the node's ability to store this in an easily accessible form, but cannot charge itself without the dimensional breach at the node's heart and tends to evaporate if left unattended. You may have discovered workarounds for both of these issues. With the proper infusion, a balanced shard can serve as an artificial node core. Though it produces no vis of its own, sentivis from an energized node can easily be redirected into an ethereal shard for convenient storage. Huh. The shard has no vis capacity on its own. You must right-click it with ethereal essence in hand to add capacity. Once it is charged, vis can be drawn from the shard as though it were an aura node. Compound aspects can only be charged if the sentivis provided contains a primal aspect present in the compound. When broken, the shard drops all essence that was bound to it. Bleh. Doesn't sound complicated at all. It is night. Okay, let's grab some honey. Let's have a look outside. You are working. You're not pure yet. You're still working. Let's check our trees here. I don't see any signs that our apple tree has been pollinated, but our cherry tree has been pollinated a little bit. It's just not what we want. Well, let's check on our caffeinated bees. You should now be pure. Shorter, slower, faster, but you eat wheat. So what have you produced? You're trying very hard to be a caffeinated, and you actually do have a strain for flowers. risky drone. You are a useless drone. We're going to try to pair you two. And you two we're going to continue with. We're actually starting to fill up some of our bee containers, which is a little scary. But that'll continue working. Put that there. Hey, we're not even working yet. I need to get myself some more repair books because I need to put repair on my thermostatic harness and also on my on my what is it called? Thaumium scoop. But we're working towards the things that we need. What? A chemical incubation. A chicken in every crucible. I need to know what that is just because it sounds awesome. After the success of algeponics, applying a similar process to animal seems to be the logical next step. Providing a chicken egg with warmth and raw life energy guarantees that the embryo within will survive when the egg is opened. Better yet, by limiting the process to the chicken's infancy, you seem to have solved the rapid aging with which plague crops. Incubated eggs, that's awesome. So if we take Victus and Ignis, we can make eggs that are guaranteed to hatch into chickens. I want to try that. Do we have some Victus? I don't think we have, but we do have it via beans. So I think what we will do is we will hop out here, grab a couple of eggs and then give it a try. So 2 eggs. Oh, and our coke oven is done again. Okay, so we need to get this weed out of our inventory first. So out with that, and then we'll go over here, grab some Victus, and then we need to have some Ignis. That's not Ignis, this is Ignis. Alright, let's try. An incubated egg. Let's hop down in our basement here. Awesome! Adulthood in Seoul. Okay. That's awesome though. And with a room down here that they can't get out of, they can run around freely, play on the grass, and then we can go down here and collect feathers every now and then. We might even be able to get a golem to do the work for us. So, do we have a feather? Do not have a feather. Let's make a golem. So we need to have spiritus. Order, we need motors. Humanus. Spiritus. Yeah. Okay. There we go. A wooden golem. Then we need to have... What is it that we need to have? Golemancy. The gather core requires lucrum and terra. Can do. Lucrum. Terra. Then we need to have some of these. Get this cooking. Oh, we do have a feather. That's good, we need one of those. Okay, so we need a nitor. Grab those. Okay, let's brew. There we go, our golem animation core of gather. Then we need to have something to gather into. So let's grab our wand here. Okay, so let's make a chest. Can always upgrade to something else later. But let's start with the chest for now. Tell him to gather feathers. And actually they'll be producing eggs as well, so I guess we'll tell him to gather eggs on top of that. Actually, I guess we don't really need eggs. But, oh well. Doesn't hurt. Alright, so let's hop down there again and tell them to gather eggs as well. There you are. I have a feeling we're going to need a bigger storage. So maybe we should upgrade this to an iron chest already, actually. while that is processing, let's hop in and grab ourselves one of these. And we should also... I think our little buddy down there should have a little bit of an upgrade. He should have spectacles. So we're going to need one more iron for that. But we do have... What am I affected by? Odd. Two pieces of glass. Okay, we'll just wait. Okay, crafting close. And these. Boop. You can now see. Okay, let's pick you up real quick. And then let's grab you. Okay, let's get our little buddy here back. And you have remembered everything, that is brilliant. So, let's just... oh yeah, we can't do that. Just do that. Ah, that is awesome. Now we can have little chicken friends down in our basement. Making progress today. Okay, let's check outside here. How are you two doing? Oh, I think you are just about pure. You have finished your routine. Whoa, at the lag. Okay, so normal, slowest, slow. Not quite pure though. You are a good drone. You're a good candidate. You're not as good a candidate. But we'll do that. Take you. Pair you with that one. And you two will pair there. Let's just analyze you for the sake of it. Okay. Any leaves that has been pollinated? Keep on wanting these to just go. Go! Unfortunately, I think the only way to obtain pollen is via the, like, villages and stuff. So how are you doing? You're doing okay. So let's check on our bees here. You're still pure, so I'll just run you again. Let's see you though. Trying hard. We're gonna combine you two and hope that you don't devolve. So basically, I'm going to make these until I have a better one to override it with, and then try to do some intermingling to get the best possible bee we can. But the success criteria of them is to make them work on flowers. First of all, because having weed around is kind of an ass. But second of all, I just like the idea of brewing coffee from flowers. Okay, and I think we can pour in the last of this stuff now. So there, and there. And we have no more in there. You're almost grown up now. Oh, they've already started dropping feathers. That's convenient. I love the golems, they're so cute. I need to figure out what to do with these. I still don't know if I want to mess with the advanced golems. I mean, if I do mess with the advanced golems, it's probably going to be the only bit of forbidden knowledge I touch. But it would make it so much more improved if I could do that. So I might do it. I mean, it's not really forbidden knowledge, it's more taboo. I don't want them to run around with little helmets on, though. Brain in a jar. Hoe of growth. That one I'm interested in. Shifting earth, sort of Zephyr, Arcs of stream, rivers of wood. I think this one here, basically, if you hit a tree with it, it cuts down the entire tree, which is not necessarily important here because we're not cutting down big trees, but it would be useful if we were doing like tall trees. Pickaxe of the core, which will melt ore, so that's not useful. Sword of the Zephyr has like a pushback attack, not interesting. Earth Mover, I'm not sure about. And then Hoe of Growth. You know what, I think we are going to do those three and then probably call it a night there. Because I'm quite curious about their functionality and I've never actually messed with them. But it would be nice with something that would make things grow instead of having to use bone meal, so... especially now that we're working with trees, so let's see here. Let's grab that, let's grab 3 slips of paper. 3. Clicking too much today, so that, and that. Okay, messes to Victus. Messes goes to Herba. Okay, so Herba. See Herba, Arbor, Herba, Arbor, Herba, Terra, something like that. Would be an easy way to do it. And then instrumentum to arbor in 2. Can we do that? I'm not sure. Instrumentum. That is instrumentum. Goes to Ordo or Humanus. Humanus goes to Bestia. Bestia goes to Motus or Victus. So if we go Humanus, Bestia, Victus. So Humanus, Bestia, Victus. Shoveler of Earth Mover. Factorio goes to Instrumentum or Humanus. Okay. Let's go to Ordo. Okay, Ordo can go to Vitreous. We can go into Terra. And we could basically just combine it up like that. It would be easy. We have a lot of Vitreous to waste, so that is fine. Okay. Motus. What is it Motus contains? Motus contains Ordo or air. To Ordo. Let's see. Potentia or Vitreous. I think we'll do Vitreous again. Okay, Terra or Vitreous to Aqua. Aqua goes into Limus, which goes into Victus. Semperos, Victus. I think that's our answer. Victus, which can go into Terra, and then Vitreous. Here we are. All our research. Okay, let's have a look. So, Axe of the Stream. By combining water shards and a thaumium axe, you have created a tool that embodies the aspects of motion and flow. It functions like a normal axe on all materials except natural logs and trees. When used on them, the axe seeks the furthest block at the same time of the same type, but is still connected to the block you are attempting to harvest, and harvest that one instead. In effect, you will chop trees from the top down, even if you hit the bottommost block. Very useful. Any wood chopping in this fashion will automatically float towards you. If you press and hold right-click, the axe will draw all nearby items towards you, not just wood chopped. If shift is held while using this tool, all its special properties are suspended, and it functions like a normal axe. Nice. Earth Mover. Combining earth shards with a thaumium shovel, you have created a peerless digging implement. When used to dig earth, sand or similar materials, it will dig a 3x3 area. If you right click on the side of the block, it will attempt to place a 3x3 section of the same material in the world, as long as you have sufficient blocks in your inventory. The orientation of both the digging and the construction depends on the phase you dug or clicked. If shift is pressed, you can see where the blocks will be placed in the world, and you can change the orientation of how blocks are placed by pressing G on the keyboard. Blocks can be placed either parallel to the block face, or selected, or extending out the face vertically or horizontally. If shift is held while using this tool, all the special properties are suspended. Cool. Hoe of Growth. Is that an order shard? Yeah. By merging the magical energy of order and entropy shards with a thaumium hoe, you have created a farming implement with few equals. When used to till fields, it will till a 3x3 area instead of just a single block. When used to crops or other plants, it will act as bone meal to promote its growth, though at a higher cost to its durability. It might even be able to grow plants that normal bone meal can't. If shift is held while using this tool, all its special properties are suspended. It functions like a normal hoe. So that is awesome. We'll definitely be making that. So let's make a quick round to our bees to check on them, and let's call it off for tonight. I think we made some good progress. You're still working, so you're not ready yet. You're not quite pure yet, but you're close. Do we have any here? No, I don't think so. But I might have orchid trees next time. Already seen how it works, so there's no sense in me showing it again, really. Basically, every time you break one of those pollinated blocks, it will either give you a sapling that is like a both, or it will mutate into something new. If you have the correct mix, of course. Which I should have. So we'll see. Okay, let's just check our caffeinated bees. You're done. You're still working. Okay, so let's just wait for her to finish. she supposed to produce wheaten combs? Yeah, wheaten combs and caffeinated combs. That's fine. I wasn't quite certain if it was regular honeycombs, but of course it is the family branch, so it makes sense that it would be wheaten. So, yeah, almost there now. Basically, this bee here is the goal of my bees. Everything else is just for fun. Ooh! I mean, we do have the opportunity to produce alcohol now too, so start up a brewery to produce short mead. Nighttime is coming. Let's use the opportunity to just pop up here and check it from the top. No. Nothing yet, but it will come. Let's pop into bed. And I think that should be it for our caffeinated bees, so let's pop outside and get those sort of one more round, and then next time we'll hopefully have some nice caffeinated bees to work with. So let's see here. You're pure caffeinated. You have the flower strain. You're a family hybrid with the flower strain. Shorter, slower, faster. Gonna try pairing you too. Actually, do we want to put you in there is the question. Tropical, tropical, tropical. Nah, you go in the bag. And there we are. Okay, so there's one more thing, and we'll call it off. Two more things. First, harvest this. And then look in the basement. Yep. The chickens are now grown. That's good. Then we can produce feathers and stuff, which we actually need, because we don't really have a good source of the volatus aspect. So that'll be very nice for that. But yeah, let's call it off. Let's call it off with these guys. Thank you very much for watching this stream. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you had fun. And I also hope to see you again next week, where I hopefully will have figured out what to do with these guys. Actually used them for now I just sort of figured something out and tried it. Just to see how it works, so basically can use it later. But for now, let's call it off for tonight. Say goodnight everyone, see you again next week, and have a lovely weekend. Bye bye everybody. Bye.